Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the show. Coming up this week on Tuesday, the world will be celebrating International Women's Day, and it's actually the 100-year anniversary of this day. We're going to talk a little bit about that right now with Cynthia Waldmeier. She's joining us from Amethyst Women's Addiction Center. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Just before we get into what you're doing to celebrate Women's Day and the connection, let's talk a little bit about Amethyst first and what this organization does.
Sure. Amethyst is the only women's-only day treatment center in the Ottawa area, and it was actually the first of its kind in 1979 when it opened in Canada.
Wow.
And we treat women, all our counselors are women, and not just with substance abuse, but also with women struggling with gambling addiction, women who are survivors of sexual abuse. And yeah, we're in the Sandy Hill area, and we've been helping women since 1979.
Empowering women.
Very much so.
Yeah, so it truly is a feminist organization.
Yes, it is. We make a direct link between the addictions we see our clients coming in with their unequal status in society as women. So that's why International Women's Day is very much something that's in line with what we're all about.
Right. So this is the second year that you've organized an event that would coincide with this day.
Yeah. No, we had our first event of this kind last year, and we actually had it at the University of Ottawa, so the same place we're having it this year. And we had a really good turnout. A lot of people showed up and showed that there's still definitely very much an interest in the topic of feminism, what it means today, and International Women's Day is the perfect excuse to hold that type of discussion.
Now we're taking a look right now at some photos from last year's event.
Yes.
And so who are some of the key players that were coming forward last year?
Well, last year we had some professors, we had some women who are active as female activists, a woman who runs her own camp. So we had a pretty diverse panel last year, and this year we're actually featuring Vivian Chan, who works for Immigrant Women's Services in Ottawa, Denise Spitzer, who is actually a professor at the Institute of Women's Studies at the University of Ottawa, an activist in the field of violence against women, amongst several others. So there's going to be a lot of diversity of opinion coming out of the panel.
Now it's called Feminism, the other F word. I like that.
Yeah, kind of a loaded term, kind of like feminism these days. I mean, there's no direct definition on what feminism means. It really depends on how you grew up, your social background, your professional background. So we thought that F word kind of thing makes people think, well, what does it really mean to me, and what is the context?
Yeah. Do you know how this day began 100 years ago?
Yeah, it actually began in Europe, and it was kind of the result of labor issues in Europe where women were fighting, to have equal education rights, equal rights in the workplace.
Right.
So that's really how it started, and since then it's really grown to an international scale, which is great for us to see.
Yeah, well, and it's true, because even if you go onto the website, too, to find out a little bit more about it, is you'll see that, I guess every year, each country takes on what they want their theme to be.
Yes.
So it's not one general theme that everyone, around the globe celebrates. Is everyone kind of takes what's important to them and celebrates a different theme.
Yeah, and that's very much in line with what we're talking about. We appreciate the diversity of opinions which are brought up at this type of discussion, and I think that's what makes International Women's Day so interesting, because there are so many different opinions to hear, on an international scale.
Absolutely. So this event is happening on Tuesday, on International Women's Day, coming up this week. It's at the University of Ottawa.
Yep, same location.
Whereabouts at the university?
It's actually in the Desmarais building in room 3120, and we'd love for as many people to come out, man or woman, as possible.
Yeah. What time?
It's happening at 12:30. That's when the panelist discussion starts, so that will go from 12:30 to 2:30. Then we'll have a brief break where we're having free refreshments. We also are going to have free childcare available if people want to come.
Oh, great.
And then we'll have a World Cafe discussion afterwards, which is a little bit more interactive.
Perfect. Where can people get more information on the website, on the Amethyst website that we had?
Yeah, I'd recommend that. We also have a Facebook page, and we have lots of updates on that as well.
Great. Excellent. Well, International Women's Day, we're celebrating a 100-year anniversary, a great event that is being put on by the Amethyst Women's Addiction Center coming up this Tuesday at the University of Ottawa. And if you can make it, it would be a fantastic day to celebrate. And